Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Lommel in Belgium, round 14 of the FIA Motocross World Championship. It's the MXGP of Belgium. My name's Paul Malin. Alongside me, Jason Thomas from Fly Racing. And Jason's been calling the races with me today, and we'll be back tomorrow as well. So far, we've had some pretty good action out on track in all the races. We've had European 125 and 250. We just had the MX2 qualifying race, and we're now about to hit off with the MXGP qualifying race. We won't let you know what's happened, just in case you're going to watch on demand a little later on. But Lommel is where we are, in the region of Limburg. And the guys here, as always, working hard to put on this race. Completely unrecognizable to what it was a couple of weeks ago for just normal practice session, but it always is. You know, the sponsor advertising boards, the monster livery everywhere, the VIP, hospitality, all the big rigs are here in the paddock as well. And it really does look impressive if you like sand. Jason, the track is holding up, but it's breaking down at the same time.
Yeah, it's getting rougher and rougher as we've been watching MX 125, MX 250. You can see it getting rougher. So I don't think it's anything compared to what they have in store for them tomorrow, but this will be a nice little warm-up.
That's the first look of the racetrack, 1,880 meters, if you're joining us for the first time today. And if you are, where have you been? But the circuit, the riders are out on track now looking at it. But Arno Tonus, Monster Energy Wilvo, Yamaha, and Sean Simpson from the KTM squad, RFX KTM, are about to speak to Lisa.
Okay, we're almost ready for the final qualifying race of the day with the MXGP, guys. Now, I'd like to speak to RFX KTM rider Sean Simpson. Sean, like many other riders, you live around the corner from here. You actually won a GP here back in 2015 in the sand, so I'm guessing you're feeling quietly confident.
Yeah, I've actually just moved house, so I'd take bets that I actually live the closest to anyone.
Really?
Yeah, probably about 1.5 kilometers from here, so yeah, it's good. We've put a fair bit of work in. I've been focusing for this one. Obviously, the nation's coming up. British team hasn't been selected yet, and I'd really like a spot in there as well. So I've been focusing on sand riding over the last, few weeks. Bit of rain yesterday. Track's in decent shape. Been a lot of riding on it this morning. It was a bit rougher than I expected, but overall, I'm really looking forward to getting out there, eating a bit of sand, hopefully not too much, and yeah, just having some fun.
Well, that actually brings me on to my next question. It is a sand track. Obviously, we're going to be in Aston for the Nations with another sand track. Do you think a lot of the guys this weekend are going to try and showcase their skills before the Nation selections?
Yeah, I'd say so. It's a good place to do it. We're not far away from Aston, here in Lommel. Sand's similar. I'd argue that the sand in Aston's a bit softer than here. But overall, I would say get out to a good start, try and show some speed, and yeah, there's going to be a lot of teams announcing their nation selection today or this weekend. But yeah, I'm known for being a decent sand rider. I'd be very disappointed if I don't ride well here this weekend. How well will be unsure, because with Tony and Jeffrey not being here, there's a lot of guys sniffing a podium. So it's going to be 6 or 7 good guys battling it out. I think it's going to be fun to watch.
Have a good one, Sean.
Sure.
Thank you. With me now, I have Monster Energy Wilvo Yamaha rider Arno Tonus. Arno, I just want to speak to you, see how you're feeling, really, because I know you weren't really feeling yourself in Lockheed, a bit under the weather. How are you feeling now?
I feel better. I could recover for sure, but yeah, I feel like I missed a bit of riding in the sand because I was had to recover from that sickness, but it's okay. It's part of the game. I'm just going to give my best and hopefully a good result this weekend.
And just quickly, of course, starts are always important, but is it fair to say perhaps less so on this track? It's very open, it's very wide, many chances to pass out there, so is that fair to say?
Yeah, definitely. The start is still important because it will bring you in a good rhythm and help you for the rest of the race, but you can make some passes and make the difference with the physical condition on those conditions. So yeah, we'll see. It's going to be a tough race for everybody, so we'll just give my best.
Best of luck. Thanks, Arno. Okay, good luck to all the guys. Hopefully we'll see some good battles today. It's time for MXGP qualifying race.
Shortly after that, of course, riders did hit the track for their sighting lap. I tell you what was impressive, Jason Thomas. Free practice, Arminas Jasikonis, Rockstar Energy Husqvarna did a time 1:53.2. When he went out in time practice at, 1:30, and this was posted 3:45 almost, or 1:52.4. So the track would have been bumpier, and he went quicker.
What do you attribute that to? Just lines forming?
Maybe,
Yeah.
but it's still impressive that he topped both sessions.
Yeah, to turn a 152 in the condition the track is it's unbelievable.
Well, Jesse Konis goes to the line first. Max Anstey also put in a decent time, just 0.4 of a second down on the standing construct KTM. Jeremy Seewer, who, if he grabs a whole shot, be interesting to see if he can quad his way into the rhythm section just after the finish line, because only him and I think Roman Febvre are the only guys that have done it so far today. The angle of the jump isn't as steep as it has been in previous years.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope that everyone at home can see this, because it's it's a lot bigger than maybe even the television will show.
It's about 30 meters,
yeah,
point to point, with not a lot of lift.
I like to see if they can continue to do it as the race wears on, because this track is going to break down significantly.
Well, the thing is, when you do that, they have the advantage. You're not landing on the downside of a 3, between 3 and 4. You've got a cleaner landing because no one's going into that fourth one.
Right.
So it's safer as long as you can hit the takeoff.
If jumping 30 meters into the sand is safe, then yes, you are correct.
Landing between 2 waves 10 meters apart.
Right.
Well, Jesse Konis on pole for provisional pole anyway. Anstey second, Seewer third, Simpson, Coldenhoff, Febvre, Van Horebeek, Bogers, Tixier and Geiser. Paulin 11, Jonas 12, Tonus, Monticelli, Lars van Berkel, Kevin Strybos, Pedro Petrov, Tom Koch, Sever Bridikov, Jonathan Bengtson. There are 32 guys going to the line. Tommy Searle has decided not to line up. He didn't start the time training session. Still beat up from his crash when he went through the fence a week ago in Loquet at the bottom end of the circuit. But AJ, Shorty, wearing some retro-coloured white and blue this weekend, as are all of the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna guys. But he could, if he gets through a qualifying race here, and we know tomorrow is something completely different, could get a podium here this weekend. Could probably even win it. You
just wonder if he can get a start. It's every time he seems to be riding well, he comes around the first lap in 12th, and we never really get to see what he's capable of. So he's certainly on form today, but if he doesn't get the start and gets buried, he's got so many talented guys to fight through. I don't see him catching the leaders.
There's Roman Febvre. I'm sure we'll see a glimpse of Tim Geiser in a moment. Geiser struggling with the difficult conditions here. 1.6 seconds off the pace is the Team HRC rider. Had a fall just at the end of pit lane where you go left, just the crest before the finish. Came through there, full chat right at the end of the session. Got it wrong, backhand came round, buried the front, but over the bars. Guys, not having it easy.
No, and 177-point lead will give you that comfort level where he doesn't have to be the fastest guy this weekend. So I think he's just going to try to get good starts, put himself in a position to succeed, and yeah, try to walk away with his championship.
It's a weird one because people are talking about him as we look at Arno Tonus. Potentially able to wrap up the championship this weekend if he goes 1-1 and Jeremy Seewer has a bogey race at least once, you know. And I think there's a lot of work for Geiser to do here. I've seen him make mistakes here before. I just think that these kind of conditions, while he looked very smooth in Lockett and he's looked smooth on a number of occasions, I think this particular racetrack is one that kind of just frustrates him. And I've seen him make mistakes here in the past on quite a few times.
Well, we've seen him have some very large crashes, and he's a rider that, when he's pushing the limit, is prone to mistakes, and this track penalizes mistakes harshly. So I can't imagine that he's going to take any huge risks. If he doesn't win the championship here, he most certainly will the next time out. So I don't expect him to win the overall, to be honest. I just expect him to have a safe, solid day and lock up some solid points.
And, you know, the guys down there at Honda, obviously all very experienced, every single one of them. There's his teammate, Brian Bogers. And I think they will be, you know, just saying to him, look, you can't win it here, but you could lose it here. If you know what I mean.
Take it as it comes, right? Yeah. If the opportunity presents itself, great. If not, don't force it, because you really have nothing to gain big picture, but you can lose a lot.
Yeah. And obviously after this one we have a weekend free, then we go to Imola in Italy and then Sweden. So it's becoming a case of, you know, sort of when, not if. But the Fly Racing 15-second board up for the first time of the weekend then for MXGP. It's the MXGP qualifying race, round 14 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. This is the MXGP of Belgium and we are at Lommel.
That
Jason Thomas,
glove.
Yeah, Jason Thomas in here with me, Paul Malin. The gate is about to drop here for MXGP qualifying, 20 minutes plus 2. Where are we looking? Over on the left side, AJ gets a good start from the middle though. Tonus, Febvre's in there, Seewer's with him as well to the outside. And Febvre holds a nice tight line, comes out in second. Seewer offline as Geiser goes through.
Yeah, I made contact with Geiser there. That could have been ugly.
Van Hoorbeek over on the left-hand side in white, and then we've got we're losing a couple of positions here, so I'm not sure we're going to see him jump that quad. In the, well, we could see him do it, but maybe not on the opening lap. The orange gloves of the number 21, Gauthier Paulin, alongside Geiser, who goes to the outside here, closest to the cameras. Geiser gets squeezed there by Paulin. Smooth around the outside, though. We saw this in the MX2 race earlier. But great start for Tonus. And up into second.
Yeah, Geiser aggressive here early.
So Febvre in third, Paulin fourth. Koldenhoff looks like he's there in fifth place there. Or is it Anstey? They're both in there, both the standing construct KTMs. There's the 99 of Anstey, so the second one was Koldenhoff. So Febvre, Anstey, Paulin, and then Van Hoorbeek just behind them. Oh, heavy landing there from Van Hoorbeek. But it's Tonus who leads. That does not give you any illustration as to how rough that straight is. We saw a small snippet there, but those bumps are a lot bigger than you think.
Coming up to this quad section we were discussing, I don't think Febvre's going to do it behind anyone, and Seewer's buried a bit.
Yeah, they're not going to be doing it, and also depends on the drive coming out of that turn, how deep it's got, how many holes there are there. But Tonus leads, Geiser second, Febvre third, over on the left-hand side. Fourth is Anstey, looking dangerous. Fifth is Paulin, sixth Van Hoorbeek, seventh Seewer, eighth Simpson. So he did get the good start that he wanted on the KTM. So Sean Simpson making no secret that he's trying to eye up a place on the Team GB squad as Seewer and Van Hoorbeek go bar to bar. They were pretty close as they hit that next jump, but did they stay up? Yes, they did. And Van Hoorbeek managed to stay ahead of the Yamaha rider. Not an easy racetrack. Concentration has to be on point. Here's Geiser looking to close in on the number 4 of Tonus. Back end just stepping out as he comes through that left-hand turn. That Honda sounds nice. Oh, Febvre goes down. Febvre has gone down. Back end came around on him. He picks it up. Electric start on that Yamaha, but he was really looking forward to being here this weekend. Said he feels like he can win on the race day. Might just dent the confidence a little bit there.
Yeah, this is not a track I would normally assume with Febvre. You know, it rewards aggression, but yeah, coming off a blockade, I'm sure he feels like he could win anywhere. But yeah, luckily for him, they pay the points tomorrow.
Geiser looks to go around the outside of Tonus. He'll have the inside line at the end of the straight. Probably moved across on the Swiss rider. Keeps him wide. That's where he fell at the end of the time training session, but looking good so far is Geiser.
I'll tell you who's impressive right now is Anstey.
Yeah.
You know, when Max is feeling it, he's really tough to beat. He just has a hard time finding that week in and week out, but we know he loves the sand, and he's definitely on pace right now.
Yeah, and tripling at the end of the rhythm section there. Goes around the outside of Tonus. Has looked very impressive going after his first qualifying race win, but then equally impressive on Tonus. So these two tearing strips off of each other at the moment as they dive into the same line at the end of that straight. That looks horrible, that section there, doesn't it? Hole into the ruts on the face of the jump.
Yeah, there are obstacles that were not even built to be made there that they're having to wheelie through.
So Anstey, standing construct KTM. These are the kind of races that he prefers, you know, rough, tough conditions, deep sand. Watch this here. Watch. Triples his way in, and Tonus didn't expect that. They were pretty close coming into land there.
That's the first time I've seen anyone do that all weekend, so you can tell that Anstey's feeling it. He's probably getting frustrated. If he can make a move here, you know he wants to go chase Geiser down.
Well, he hasn't won a qualifying race, Max Anstey, since the final round at Villars-Sous-Caux 2017. So if you can do that, then that's, what, 2 years almost?
Yeah, Anstey's one of those guys where just when you're wondering, where's Max Anstey been? He comes out and puts in a ride like this, and it wouldn't surprise me at all to see him ride right past Geiser and win this going away. That's just kind of the unpredictable rides we've seen from Anstey, going back to Motocross of Nations, and being in the sand as well. He's very, very gifted in sand.
Well, he has won around here a few times, actually. He stood on the podium in MX2. Here's Siwa, just behind Gauthier Paulin. So we've got those three Yamahas are right there, and coming back after that little spill, Romain Febvre. So we were talking about this on the studio show earlier today, Jason, Thomas and I, where you said the resurgence of Yamaha is impressed you this year.
Yeah, he's, I mean, he went 1-1 at Lockett. Jeremy Sewer has been on the podium week in, week out. Now Tonis has running up front in the qualifier. It's definitely been the season of Yamaha, even if Febvre is 10th place in the championship standings, but he's obviously finding his form now.
Jeremy Sewer looking to go, well, round then up the inside of Gauthier Paulin. Gets his bike in front as he comes into land, and he's put the squeeze on the Frenchman here. So we've got Geiser leading away, a second in it between him and Anstey. Tonis third, Sewer now fourth. And then we've got Paulin in fifth, Van Hoorbeek sixth, Febvre seventh, Koldenhoff, Simpson and Monticelli, with Jonas just behind them.
Keep an eye on Sewer here. He just set the fastest time in Sector 1 for this race so far, so he's definitely on the charge.
Geiser. Last week he settled for 2 seconds, didn't he, in Lockett, but we've seen that's a mature side of Geiser. See what we get tomorrow and what we get in the rest of this qualifying race. It looks good though at the moment, despite what we said earlier, or what I said earlier, where he has made mistakes around here in the past.
Yeah, it's funny to me, Geiser races different riders differently. When Tony Cairoli was in the series, you could tell he was willing to push himself to a place that got him into trouble quite a bit. With these other riders and with the large points lead, if someone's just having a great day and he doesn't feel like he can ride with them, you know, and not put himself into trouble, he generally will let them go. So yeah, that's a maturity thing. That's consciously making smart decisions while you're out on the racetrack as well.
Romain Febvre just trying every inch of the racetrack to find his way back past Jeremy Van Hoorbeek. Just those few corners, left and right, right and left, switching it up. Sewer is closing in on Tonis. Paulin is dropping back though. He's gone from 4th to 7th in this lap alone. Sewer, Van Hoorbeek and Febvre have all gone by. Right, are we going to see Sewer launch it into the jump here? Probably not when he's got somebody ahead of him. Nah. But it is looking chewed up as well coming out of that corner, isn't it? Here's Anstey. Actually, Anstey's looking real nice. Over on the back section, you can see how he's picking up the front end through some of those holes and them corners. And he looks solid at the moment as the 99. Not going too deep into the corner, look. Just keeping the wheels nice and light.
Yeah, it looks comfortable. I think he's happy with the pace here. He's content to reel Geiser in on his own time. There's no pressure from behind him, too, so there's no urgency.
Oh, and Sewer, how did he stay up right there? He worried his luck there, and it paid off. Watch this in a moment. Gets on the gas. Back end comes around. He was almost down and then somehow stayed up, Marquez style. Marquez, of course, MotoGP rider who runs on his elbows, loses the front end and picks himself up without even crashing.
That's what happens when a 12,000 RPM 450 loses traction.
Yeah. So now he's under attack from Van Hoorbeek and Febvre. It's been a good recovery from Febvre, actually. Because he went down, was it just halfway around the start of the first official lap through that corner in the background. Van Hoorbeek getting the fans on side.
There's the
and
move.
Anstey makes a move for the lead and makes it stick as well. So Anstey, your new race leader on lap 4. That was impressive. Right, let's take a look at that again. But Anstey, this is what you said, Jason, where you thought maybe Anstey would just try to make the pass and just check out. Well, can he do the next bit?
Yeah, you know, and for Geiser, I don't think you're going to see any panic here. I think he's just going to ride the pace he's comfortable with. Anstey is no threat for the championship. I think he's content to stay in second here. If Anstey has the pace to run away, so be it. You know, the points are tomorrow. There are much bigger battles to worry about, and Anstey's putting in incredible laps here. So I don't think he's going to put himself into trouble to worry about this qualifying win.
So Max Anstey leads, sets the fastest lap of the race as well, a 1:59.4 compared to a 2:01.7 of Geiser. And this is how he did it. Got good drive, got good distance. And he did just go for distance. Geiser didn't expect it at all. Commitment in that next corner, though. See how hard he hit those next holes.
Anstey was definitely making sure he had the pass. You can see he's trying to put in some sprint laps here. That's the first time he's gone to that next bump. He wants to build a gap here and end this race early.
Jump in that iPhone jump as well. Longer than everybody else. Launching it off that ski jump. Landing down 3 or 4 more holes. Rodriguez. So Anthony Rodriguez, who debuted the Boss Kawasaki last week. Boss GP Kawasaki was in 27th, but he parks it. So Anstey leads, Geiser second, Tonus, Seewer, Van Horbik, Fevre, Paulin, Koldenhoff, Simpson and Monticelli are your top 10. AJ, fastest in free practice, fastest in time practice. He finds himself in 11th, didn't get the start. That was your concern.
Seems to be a trend for him.
What about Seewer? Third, going after Tonus here.
Yeah, it seems like he has the pace to get around. I don't think Tonus is feeling all that great at this point in the moto. He seems to be laboring a bit, and Sewer's on a charge. So I think this is just a matter of time before we see Sewer go by.
Just needs to be up on the pegs a bit more through there, Sewer. Or maybe he made a mistake. Tonus, sorry. Yeah, just offline, look. So Sewer has the advantage at the moment, but good response from Tonus, actually. Monticelli now up into 9th. He's found his way past Sean Simpson. So Simpson in 10th on the RFX KTM, powered by PAR Homes.
Anstey went 159 again. So you see him really trying to break the will of Geiser. If this continues for another lap or so, you'll see Geiser's effort drop off quite a bit. He's not going to put in some momentous effort on a qualifying race when Anstey's turning in 159s.
Monticelli going past Simpson again. So Simpson and Monticelli there, the 24 and the 128, having their own little tussle. Simpson looks to run up the inside, and he does so. One of your guys.
Yeah, he might be able to just ride off the track and ride to his house, 1.5 kilometers away. Just ride to the garage and hose the bike off, take a shower.
Just jet wash the whole lot.
Yep.
Rider included. Finds his way past Monticelli. Monticelli in 10th place then. So Simpson up to 9th. Lost it only ever so slightly before. And Paulin down. Wow, lucky not to get collected there. Electric start. Fires it up, but the Monster Energy Wilbo Yamaha rider just tips over from 7th place.
AJ finally coming into our screen.
Yeah, around the outside of Monticelli. Get back to that one in a moment, but there was Paulin, just buried the front. Easy done. Gives you an indication as to how difficult that is, but he was lucky not to get cleaned up on the way through. So here's his teammate, number 4, Arno Tonus. Seewer, Van Horbik on the Honda SR Motor Blues. Another mistake there from Tonus, it looked like. Just came out of the corner too tight, lost his drive. Seewer all the way back over, all the way over on it. What is he? All over him again, I should say. Yeah, spun it up.
Yeah. I like the response, though. Seewer's brought pressure, and Tonus hasn't cracked. He's actually picked the pace up a bit in response to it. So it's never very much fun to get beat by, even if they're not direct teammates, by your...
Oh, wow. Seewer. He landed on Tonus. He's blowing a bit of out the bottom end. That's more clutch, I think, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's just he's at about 10 to 12,000 RPM the whole way around the track.
Watch this here. He's already like, look at that. Almost touched. In fact, they did there in the dip. Very lucky. Both riders get away with that. I like that shot, though. Anyway, here they are again. Number 4 and number 91, 3rd and 4th. Tonus and Seewer. Jumping to land in a rut, just the width of your wheel.
Yeah, it's that's the comfort level these guys have. I think it's understated how incredibly talented these guys are on a track like this. Most people would not even be able to circulate.
No. Fevre around the outside of Van Horbik, and then up the inside of him. So Fevre into 5th. Are we going to see a change in positions here? Oh, he looked to get creative there, but he kind of had to go 90 degrees, straighten up 90 degrees. Cost him a bit of time, Siwa.
Tonus basically just putting his bike in a place where Siwa can't make a move. That's a veteran defense.
Oh, and then a mistake.
Siwa down.
Just buried the front, picked himself up, smoking like a chimney. And AJ's going to go through. But you can see that, though, from Siwa. He was just getting a bit impatient, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was great defensive riding by Tonus. Kind of forced him into an error there.
And Jasikonis is also past Koldenhoff. So all of a sudden, this one lap, we've seen AJ gain positions. Watch this here. Cross ruts, back comes around in the front, just nowhere to go. Just hits a big sand wall. So 4 minutes to go. Anstey, Geister, Tonus, Webber now 4, Van Horbik 5, Jasikonis 6, Koldenhoff 7, Siwa down to 8. 9th is Simpson, and Monticelli is 10. Here's your race leader, Max Anstey, 6 seconds clear of Geiser. Impressive ride from the Englishman on that standing construct KTM. See how far he's jumping there. Just using those downhills, those rollers, 2, 3, 4 of them, just to keep that momentum, that forward momentum.
Yeah, and he's just in cruise control now. He's dropped it down to a 2:04 lap time. When he was really sprinting, he was in the 1:59. So just gives you an idea when these guys really want to try to break the will of the guy behind them, the zone they can go into, and then they can cruise at 2:04 and maintain a lead.
Well, you said Geiser would just back it off. I mean, there were similar times last time around, the top 3, 2:04s, all of them, but it's where the battle is. Koldenhoff looking to find his way past. Whoa, how lucky was he there with the back end just riding so high. Siwa's not done yet, you know.
No, he's just getting warmed up after that crash. A lot of guys losing the rear end here. Base seems like it's fairly hard. Everyone running a paddle tire. High RPM, that thing will definitely step out. We've seen that time and time again, both in this class and the MX2 qualifier.
Anstey, impressive though. Again, looking like he's just out on a training ride at the moment.
Yeah, no worries. When you really think about it, and he could go 4 or 5 seconds a lap faster than this, yeah, it should look like a training ride, because really he's almost cruising. But he's earned this lead. He was easily the fastest rider on track for the first half of the race.
Giacomo Garibaldi on the right, team owner, Team HRC. Won the qualifying race here in MX2 in 2015. Max Anstey.
Yeah, and even for Geiser here, yeah, okay, second isn't ideal, but I think with your championship rivals behind you, you have no pressure, you're not really expending any energy. I think you'd be very okay with this, especially after a rough time qualifying session.
It's picked up on the Anstey line there as well, just jumping a little bit longer on that first jump.
This is what championships are about. You don't have to win every time. You don't have to be the fastest guy. You just put yourself in successful situations. You get good starts. You stay out of trouble. And you end up with a 177-point lead somehow.
He's done all the hard work up until this point to be able to afford himself that kind of luxury with 5 rounds to go.
You look back at races like Trentino when everything was on the line. Those are the races where he builds up this massive lead.
Again, Siwa just making a bit of a mistake there, coming in short. And Koldenhoff, not sure what happened there. Did he, almost like he hit a neutral.
Same turn as Paul Anna's gone down a couple laps ago. So lots of mistakes from these guys. The track has to be incredibly difficult for these guys to make this many mistakes.
So Anstey goes through just 20 seconds before 2 lap board was ready to go out. So he gives himself an extra lap. So it's going to be 3 laps to go. So 7.7 seconds. He does that one. He's got that section dialed.
He does. He's probably made the least mistakes of anybody we've been watching here. A day like this makes you wonder what he has in store for tomorrow. To me, the key for Anstey is getting the start. He really needs to be up in that top 5. If he gets buried, it seems like he just has a really tough time getting to the front. But this Max Anstey is a dangerous Max Anstey. We've seen what he can do when he's feeling it.
Two Yamahas, number 4 of Tonus and the 461 of Fevre, 3rd and 4th. Not the race that Fevre would have wanted, having to make that mistake and fight back again. You just, you want to keep it up on 2 wheels, and could he have been challenging Max Anstey had he not fallen at this stage? Obviously, we don't know, but, it's 2:04 this late in the day, 2:03 Anstey, 2:03 Geiser. They're definitely the guys to look out for. Where is Jasikonis? 2:04 for him.
I would venture a guess that Tonus is really tired of someone being behind him. He's been under pressure this entire race, whether it was Fevre or whether it was Sewer. Someone has been on him the entire time.
Yeah, he's definitely calm. He's not flustered in any way.
His strategy seems to be wait them out until they crash behind me.
So, Anstey Geiser. This is Fevre early on. Just landed on the side of the bike. Now he's got himself back into contention again. He's in 4th position right now, the 461, behind the number 4 on Tonus. These two 3rd and 4th. Van Horebeke, the Honda SR Motor Blues rider, in 5th place. Number 89. Jasikonis is 6th for Rockstar Energy Husqvarna. Siwa is 7 for Monster Energy Yamaha. And then 8th, Simpson on the RFX KTM, powered by PAR Homes. Here is Anstey. 2 laps to go. 2:03.4. In fact, almost identical lap times for him and Geiser to the 1,000th of a second. 2:03.412, 2:03.411. And if Geiser is holding back, then does that bode well for tomorrow?
I think it was a solid ride for him. Rough morning, but good start, solid laps, no pressure from behind. Like I said, obviously he would love to win, but I think he would absolutely take that qualifying result.
Tonus transfers one line to the next. And Horebeke putting in a late charge, so too Jasikonis. So AJ, 27. Got 3 riders directly ahead of him with 2 to go as Fevre looking to find his way past the 4 of Tonus. Still struggling though, but is he going to get the job done at the end of this straight? Jumping, landing into deep ruts as well, even there. Thought he was going to switch to the inside and use the line there that Van Horebeke and Jasikonis have used. See how they're jumping 1 hole short compared to Anstey and Geiser.
A little bit less momentum. Yeah, it's the little things on a track like this.
That was nice there from Tonus. See the difference there, the speed that he carried through that corner compared to Fevre.
I would like to see a little bit more speed from Jasikonis in this one. He's 10 seconds slower than his best lap in time qualifying. That's a huge margin. Track is much rougher, but still 10 seconds is an eternity.
Ooh. Van Horebeke just a little bit offline when he came into land. Yeah, these guys will know they've had a workout by the time they hit the showers tonight. Anstey into the final lap. The standing construct KTM rider. Been impressive. Made a decent start. Still had to find his way through traffic though.
Fevre made a move.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, up into 3rd then, Romain Fevre. Is Tonus going to lose positions on this final lap? Here's Tonus. Fevre just ahead of him now. Here's how he did it. Romain Fevre a moment ago. Just got good drive on the downside, didn't he? Van Horebeke, front end high. He'll be going back to beach races at the end of the year. Closing in on Tonus. Not an easy place to come at all. Oh, it just gets wrong. He just missed his point there. Got the wrong side of the berm. Did Van Horebeke. He's going to have to dig deep again then. Tunnel Leok up to 16th place, a little bit further down the order, finding his way past the JWR Yamaha of Severbrugge.
Reckon we'll see Ben Horbeek on the Belgian Motocross Nation team?
Van Horbeek?
Yeah.
It's, well, I think you've got no choice. I think you're going to be looking at potentially at this stage, because we don't know when Lieber's coming back with his elbow injury. Desailly's out.
Yeah.
You've got Jago. You've got to take Jago all day long. And then you kind of look at Van Horbeek for MXGP has to be the choice. And I don't know, maybe even Strybos will make an appearance.
Yeah, it's one of the weaker Belgian teams, unfortunately, with injury.
Here's AJ around the outside, but Van Horbeek hanging him out to dry. Meanwhile, here's Anstey. He takes his first qualifying win since the final round, 2017 at Villars-Suzerain. Here's Geiser. Anstey backed it right off, look, 2:08 on the final lap, 2:05 Geiser. But where is third? Romain Fevre just there. Toner still hanging on fourth. Van Horbeek is fifth. And Jessiconis will be sixth. And Siwa all over the back of him as well for 7th place. As they hit the line now, Toner's 4, Van Horbeek 5, Jessiconis and Siwa. And but Anstey, well, he's going to have a smile on his face. So too will Tim Matthijs, the team owner, standing construct KTM. Simpson 8, Monticelli 9, and Koldenhoff 10.
See, we'll have a few stories to tell after that one.
Yeah. It wasn't boring. Right, here's Lisa Leyland, getting ready to talk to standing construct KTM's Max Anstey, the qualifying winner for the first time in about a year and a half in MXGP. Down there, probably just cleaning himself up. Here he is, talking to Lisa.
Max Anstey, good start, a bit of traffic to work your way through, and then you made it look easy in your first qualifying race win since 2017. I mean, tell us about it. It's great to see you back up at the sharp end.
Yeah, no, it's a great feeling, great for the team. You know, they've worked their butts off for this, and it's nice to give something back to them. I know it's only Saturday. I conserved a bit of energy once I got around Tim, and just tried to find a flow. You know, the track's really rough and really soft. We had a lot of rain yesterday, so gonna be a heavy one tomorrow. But at least I made today as easy as it could be. So tomorrow we'll get on it.
Good luck for them. Thank you.
One thing, actually, that is starting to ring true now, Jason Thomas. Sean Simpson said it in the pre-grid interview. Max Anstey said it. They're surprised at how rough the track is today. Unusually so, it sounds.
Yeah, you wonder how much of an impact the rain had. Speaking of Sean Simpson, I believe he's already in the shower. Just got an update. So, yeah, it's going to be a rough day tomorrow. I think all of these guys are prepared for a very difficult Sunday upcoming.
Well, Anstey, though, picking up his first qualifying race win since the final round 2017. Official confirmation coming up. Max Anstey then for standing construct KTM. Tim Geiser, Team HRC. Fevre, Monster Energy Yamaha. Tonus, Monster Energy Volvo Yamaha. The Honda SR Motor Blues machine of Van Horbeek. Then the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna of Jessiconis. Seaworth Simpson for RFX KTM. Fueled or powered by PAR Homes. Then Koldenhoff, Monticelli, the two teammates. Portland, Tixier for VHR KTM. Bogas, Jonas, Lars van Berkel, Tano Leo, A1M Husqvarna. Severbrugge for JWR Yamaha. Jeffrey de Wolf, Misha de Waal, and Tom Cobb. Take a look at the highlights then, shall we, from MXGP qualifying race. Jessiconis was expecting to start, but he didn't get it. It was Tonus who charged into the lead. Fevre was in there as well in second. Seawer got bounced off the track back to about 5th place as Van Horbeek and Geiser came through. And the track already pretty gnarly by the first lap of the qualifying race. Simpson just a couple places behind. Geiser made a move to get into second with that pass on Fevre, but then a lap later, Fevre just spun up. He went down. Would have lost quite a few positions there as the team looked on. Meanwhile, Geiser made his way to the front with this pass on Arno Tonus. And at that point, Geiser looked solid, Jason.
Yeah, he did. I really thought he may be able to run away, but then you saw Anstey's intensity here, and look at the move he makes here. You could really see how hard he's pushing through this section. Then he put in really strong laps afterwards, and he was gone.
See, we're at the inside of Monticelli as he worked his way through. Paulin fell. Wasn't the only one to fall there. Koldenoff would fall later on in the race on that particular part of the racetrack. Seward just asking a little bit too much of himself. Fell, lost a handful of positions. Koldenoff just had a strange little crash in that left-hander. Fevre found his way past Paulin to come home in third, but it was a win for Anstey, Geiser second, Fevre, Tonus, Van Horbik, your top five. Well, that was day one here at Lommel. Jason and I will be back tomorrow. Enjoy the best moments. We'll see you around about 9:40 in the morning with some European action. See you then.